active citizens. The program is As E Day Hot, where we discuss trending issues in Nigeria. And my name is Sharon Enemchuku. Joining me in the studio is the beautiful Ifoma Oji. Nice to have you on the show.
Nice to have you on the show. Thank you so much. You look beautiful as usual.
And we are not alone. Joining us is also our analyst in person of Mr. Oladimeji Oluwafemi. Good to have you, sir. Mr. Oladimeji, can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you.
All right. You're welcome. You're welcome on the show. Oh, and that's a pity. We are going to adjust that right away. But let us go straight to the topics that we have for today, the trending issues of today. All right. So from what we're hearing, starting August 20th, foreigners must deposit a bond between $5,000 and $15,000 to ensure they depart after their visas expire. So this is coming from the United States. They are saying that they have to implement this as a way to checkmate, immigrants and to safeguard their country. It's also described as a key pillar of the Trump administration foreign policy to protect the United States from the clear national security threat. Also, in July, the U.S. Embassy stated that Nigeria's security systems were too weak, asserting that the nation's technical benchmark did not meet global standards. The embassy cited the nation's poor database as the reason for slashing multiple entry 5-year visas to single entry 3-month visas. On to the next story. Human rights lawyer and senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, has condemned the ongoing debate on power rotation in the country ahead of the 2027 elections. So these and more is what we're going to be discussing on the show. We have some questions. Mr. Oladimeji, can you hear me better now? Mr. Oladimeji, can you hear me clearly? Perhaps, is this a network problem? Is your network stable? Oh, we apologize for that. But let us just go on. Maybe you would hear us along the way. Maybe let's try that. All right, so Ifoma, we have the situation of the U.S. government decision to impose a $15,000 deposit on all, not just Nigeria, but West African countries who have poor databases. So they have attributed this decision to the poor database of Nigeria. They say that we lack, accurate database or even a database in the first place. What do you make of that?
Okay, first question is, there's a particular law that they are about imposing, or rather have already imposed.
Yes.
Does it affect Nigerians and US citizens?
Does it affect Nigerian citizens?
Nigerian citizens.
Of course, it affects Nigerian.
I'm coming. Does it affect Nigerian citizens and US citizens? Do you understand that question?
All right.
Now you're imposing something that you want to probably maybe enforce or something like that, and you're not thinking about others. Now let me come around. People spend a lot of money to travel outside the country. Before you travel to US in particular, you guys have like 50 to 100 million sitting pretty in your account, and now you get into the state, and this is a new environment. There is culture shock involved. There is personal struggle involved. There is a lot of you've spent money, obviously, so you haven't even like healed from everything, and then you're trying to adjust to the new environment, and somebody comes and says, if you miss school, that you pay so amount of money. And I ask, is this same thing attainable to US citizens?
You know when they're in Nigeria?
When they are not in Nigeria, you're posting something, you're imposing something on Nigerians, or rather
West African countries.
African countries. Those things, you still have rules that will equally kind of be a consequence for for US citizens. That's what I am coming to.
No, they don't have that. It's a foreign policy for all.
Now, I see it as it is actually unfair.
Why?
Because I just mentioned that you spend a lot of money to come into the country. Let me say, for example, you want to study abroad, and after spending the money, I mean, you have to adjust to the environment. You have to, get a lot of things.
Get acquaintance with
a lot of things before you're settled. And then somebody is coming to tell you that once your visa expires, you're kind of putting us in more like, we're not comfortable with it. Not just comfortable, you're making us hasten everything. We need to at least adapt to the environment, do the things that we're supposed to do before we think about visas. And if you notice, record or statistics has it that Nigerians rank lower when it comes to
the number of citizens that overstay their welcome.
Stay more than they are supposed to stay. So you could see that our record is not bad.
I understand what you're saying, but I also don't think it's a fault on the part of the U.S. President Donald Trump, in the sense that for every president of any nation, your number one priority are your citizens, okay? Like, the priority of the president of the country are U.S. citizens, right? So this cannot apply to them because that's their home. For us Nigerians that are coming there, that's not our home. I understand what you're saying, that it's not fair in the sense that they spend a lot of money to go there, and they're not going for any reason. They're going for schooling. They want to school. They want to better their lives. They're not going there to be bandits or to attack you. They are not terrorists. Do you understand? I get that, but what I'm trying to just bring to your reminder is the fact that for Donald Trump, he's not really thinking too much of how this will benefit Nigerians, because we are not his cup of tea. The people that are his cup of tea are U.S. citizens.
Okay, in as much as I know that rules are meant to be maintained, at the same time, don't just think about your country. Think about other persons that are coming into your country. Now, let me explain.
Yeah.
Nigerians that come into U.S., you see some of them going into medical sectors.
Yes.
And they do great. They are outstanding. So you see that in other ways, they are still benefiting your economy. You understand?
I understand what you're saying.
They are not totally useless.
They are not. They are not useless. But you know that another reason why this policy was made. No, let me just bring this up so that we know that Nigeria also played a part in why this policy was made. They said that one of the reasons, the US has partly blamed this policy on Nigeria's poor data management systems. That's number one. And then, so you have to put into consideration that we have poor data. Like, you don't even. I was saying the other day that when you're on traffic and you're beating traffic, there's nobody to even caution you. There's nobody to, but you can't do the same thing that you do somewhere else in a more developed working system. So when it comes to database, let's talk about the fact that the NIN was introduced in order to get the database of citizens. Yet you would lose your phone and nothing, you can't trace anything, you can't use it, people will hack into your account and nobody can trace records. You will see the name of the person that tracked your account, but nothing can be done. So what do you make of the fact that we as Nigerians, as the government, we have a poor database system?
Okay, that question, I will ask question on top of that question. Now, does bad system of government in Nigeria prevent honorable citizens of Nigeria from attaining better life? We all know that the situation, the system in Nigeria is in a mess. We know that. We know that the data record is bad. We know that. But at the same time, people want to better their lives. People want to help people around them. Why stop them? Why restrict them? they're really going through a lot of things, trying to get one or two together to come to your country to better their life, because they're seeing that the country is not favoring them.
Yeah.
The system is not favoring them. So they want to move out of the country to better themselves, better their family, and better the country they are going into. Why restrict them? In as much as you're trying to protect your own people or your own country.
Okay, Mr. Ladimeji, since you can hear me clearly now. Oh, all right. So did you get the question?
I got the question about the penalty that is slapped upon us by Americans over our data incoherences.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have data. It's better we stop being politically correct with all of these issues. Let's just face them headlong so that we can fix all of these institutions at once. We don't have data. You said?
No. Continue.
All right. We don't have data. And, well, we have a system that is not interested in, attending to all of our issues headlong. And so we'll continue to have all of these hiccups until we have a leader who's got the will to do. Currently, the consequence of all of these, I fear for particularly the students who will be returning after the summer.
Exactly.
I fear for them. I fear for business people. The ripple effect is enormous. We cannot exhaust the description of it all on this platform here this afternoon. We are going deeper into the hole, I'm afraid, Sharon.
No, that is correct, because it's the same thing that Ipomoji is saying. But I have another question. Do you think that this move by the US is discriminatory or politically motivated? Especially considering the historical relationship between the both countries.
Look, with disregard to all of the bilateral relationships that countries in the world go into, there is no country in the world who is out there to hand you handouts without having something to get back from it. So if countries are watching out for themselves, why not you? That's the answer.
Now, I actually want to add another thing to what he just said. I've said some things about students traveling to study, but let's talk about businessmen and businesswomen. Now, you're going there to make connections. You're going there to better your business. You understand? To get connections, obviously. And this particular law that they want to enforce, or rather have enforced, is it not going to affect them? Let me say, for example, they are planning to use like 50 million naira or 10 million naira to travel to US. Now it has increased.
I feel like for business people or anybody who is planning to travel to the US, I feel like you should work on exhausting your mission within the time that your visa stands. If you stay beyond that, you are going against the laws. Even before this was made, the 15,000 bond dollar was made, it's illegal to stay beyond your visa
even when it's of great benefit to them.
It's the law. We can't contend with that. We do not make the law.
What I'm trying to say is that in as much as they are imposing their law, that they should equally create system that will equally kind of assist us, help us. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's the thing.
They should try and help. They should try accommodate Nigerians. When people come,
they are there for their own interest. Let's be straight.
Yes.
They are there for their own interest. You watch out for your own interest. That is what nations do. Watch your back.
That means they're making the environment unconducive. That's what it is.
Look, they are going to continue to make it unconducive.
You always be on your toes.
The more you seek to want to go there.
No, okay, because I wanted to ask the final question, Mr. Oladimeji, and to you, Ifoma. What do you think is going to be the possible short and long-term implication of this visa bond
to your Nigerian citizens?
Businesses. Bilateral relationship can consequently be affected because Nigeria may want to return the favor. And when you go to negotiation, at least you must go with some measure of real estate to hold a stock in the bargaining. But in this case, if you want to return the favor, who is coming? Who is seeking for your visa? What is that trade impairment that you're going to do to America? Should you want to slap any punishment on them? That's the question.
Okay, so Mr. Oladimeji and Ifoma, now I need you to answer first. How do you think the Nigerian government should respond or react to this move by the US?
First of all, you asked the question, where does Nigeria stand? Something like that. I think number one is that it is going to reduce the number of people that travel outside the country. That is genuine people that are going there for businesses, leisure activities, studies, and all whatnot. It will reduce it definitely. And then the burden of expenses, it will increase it, because even the people that are presently there will be on their toes. Now the people that are planning to travel have a lot to spend on. That is it. And then when we talk about Nigeria, it's affecting the economy too, because once the business is being affected, it will definitely trickle down on Nigeria's economy.
I hear you. Mr. Oladimeji, do you want to add to that?
We are consuming. We are a consumer economy. We are consuming economy. So this is going to impact so many things. The ripple effect is huge. Businesses will be affected, and you begin to get discussions like discussions that borders around the foreign currency. Because ordinarily, if you look at if you just oppose it, if Nigerians, because Informa was trying to say Nigerians would travel less to America. If Nigerians travel less to America, it means less of our currency is repatriated, is less of us strengthening the American currency. But for now, we are a consumer economy. We must go out to import goods that we consume. That's where the problem is. That's the dilemma.
That's where the problem lies. You're very right. But we have to move on to the next story for today. Human rights lawyer and senior
of Nigeria, Femi Falana, has condemned the ongoing debate on power rotation in the country ahead of the 2027 election. So you know that previously, before now, a lot of people have been talking about the one term. Is it possible? Do you need a brain evaluation? There's a whole lot of conversation going on about the power tussle, and he has come out to condemn it, saying that we should focus on more important things such as hunger, insecurity, and all of that we are going through in the country. Now, my question is Nigeria focusing too much on who gets power rather than how power is used to address the critical issues, that I've mentioned before?
Respect to the senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana. I think he's been disingenuous with his take on this matter, and I understand he wants to, hide away from discussing the real issue. Okay, politics is a determinant of our social existence, and so when we want to, if you say we should go discuss security, who is the chief security officer now? It's the president. So, and a choice was made that gave, that consequently gave mandate to either way, whichever we want to discuss it, to the current president there. So if he's been asked what is take on the political situation currently ongoing, when situations are like this, state is captured and some assaulting policies everywhere, it's a vote of no confidence on the government, and of course,
Yes.
politics will have to be played.
I understand that. Ifeoma, you're going to help me
answer this question after this video by the former Minister of Police, who in an interview was saying that if Buhari's administration was a failure, then Tinubu's administration is a catastrophic experience. Let's look at that video. But the question I wanted to ask you was, do you agree to that comparison? Because before Buhari left, some people were saying that after Buhari leaves, the next person would want to, see Buhari come back, would wish that he was still in power. Do you think that that is the situation now?
Okay. I actually think that Buhari crippled us the more. Tinubu crippled us the more. We were agitating when Buhari was in seat, but he left and we are missing him. Because you could see that then the price for fuel was lower.
At least.
Now, do you know how much fuel costs presently?
It has even been increased again.
Exactly. Should I talk about the skyrocketed cost of goods in the market? Should I mention insecurities?
The country has become more divided than ever before.
We're hearing a lot of new persons emerging recently. So you see, we were crying before, we are crying more. If we were in chaos before, we are in chaotic chaos at this moment.
Yeah.
So I would say that we crippled more.
And that is really sad for a country such as us, who we are known as the giants of Africa, to be in this situation right now. But anyways, let's continue on that conversation. Mr. Oladimeji, let's talk about the fact that there are some conversations that Buhari left this country in a better situation in the area of insecurity. Some people are saying that Buhari really tried. Others are saying that he did nothing. What do you have to make of that?
Let me pick between the devil and the blue sea. But we've always had successions of bad government after another in this country. When we complain of one, the next one is always terrible. So, and this is a man who came to tell us that he's got no statistics for us, but that it will continue from where Buhari stopped. And so if we, compare and contrast today where we stand, he actually did continue from where the man stopped.
Exactly.
Mr. Oladimeji, I'm sorry to cut you short. Let's
look at the video so we can get a full breakdown of what the minister said.
The country has become more divided than ever before, whereby now the campaign war cry is Buhari had done 8 years and Bola Ahmed Tinubu should be given opportunity to do another 8 years.
Are you making reference to what Bayo Onanuga said?
Yes, I'm making reference to what Bayo said, what Babangida Aliyu said, and what many others have said. If Buhari's government was a failure, this government of Bola Tinubu in 2 years is a disastrous catastrophe.
You mean it has overshadowed the 8 years?
Of course it has shadowed. It has failed in all ramifications. The country has regressed.
This is so sad to hear this sort of statement from the former Minister of Police. Ifeoma, what do you have to say?
I have actually made comments on it. If we were crying before, we are weeping now. You understand? So he did keep on the promise
to continue.
To continue from where he stopped.
Yeah.
You get. But let's move over to what Femi Falana said. Femi Falana is actually a lawyer, and people see him as one that talk the talk. He is not just a courtroom lawyer. He is an advocacy for the voiceless. That is, he advocates for people that can't speak for themselves. And not just that, he advocates for peace. Now, he coming out to make this particular comment that we should focus on feeding Nigerians that are hungry, people that are going through a lot, instead of zoning or this power tussle and or whatnot. Mr. Femi Falana, I want to ask, if people like Femi Falana and opposition leaders reject power rotation, what could happen? Could it help Nigerian focus more on choosing capable leaders instead of just picking based on region? Or could it cause more division between different parts of the country?
I would love to share the senior advocates of Nigeria's opinion on, his take on this matter. It's been my yearnings that we move away from this current optical politics and, that we are currently engaged in, so that we'll move to, politics that really concentrate on capacity, competence, and compassion for the real citizens of the country. But unfortunately, the position we stand right now is one that leaves us on the precipice where, we have to be very, very careful with the delicate situation where a little heck or a little misstep can unbalance the whole thing and set everything just ablaze. Currently, we cannot move away from recognizing with the federal character status, which and then it's a gentleman political agreement that has been sustained since 1999, and it's been helping us to keep the balance of our political space.
Okay, thank you so much for that contribution. Your contribution to this particular question is quite apt. At the same time, I'm saying to Nigerians, 2027 is coming, and I am very much optimistic that it is going to be a change. It will definitely be a revolution. We really need real change in the system. Let us remove all these old people on the seats that keep on rotating every single time. Let us elect new people that don't have all these tainted images. Let us elect new people that don't have questionable characters into seats. And let us see from 2027 till when their reign ends, what they can do for Nigeria.
Oh, thank you very much. That's really powerful. And I'm going to continue from where she stopped to plead with Nigerians to please, like I always say, let us sit up and wake up and realize that this country is ours for the taking. Mr. Oladimeji, thank you so much for joining us. It has been such a pleasure as always. All right, do have a good day. All right, Nigerians, remember that you can follow us on all our social media platforms, and please, if you have any opinion or comments, do sure to drop that in the comment section. Till we see you next time, have a great day.